Hey everybody, welcome to the SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
I'm Cesar.
And today, we got another review for you today, although we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to do a bourbon whiskey. That's right, a bourbon whiskey. When people say, oh, I like bourbon, but I don't like whiskey, I'm like, wait, hold up. But today, we've got a fun one on the bar. This is one that neither one of us have really tried or experienced. I've had a very, very, very tiny sampling. Thanks to Cleet's Liquor Store in San Dimas, California. Amir, who's the bar owner there, not bar owner, liquor store owner. A really cool dude, got to talking with him, was kind of talking back and forth about different whiskeys, different bourbons, things like that. And he recommended 1792, something that I've seen on the shelf before, haven't had a chance to sample until that moment. And yeah, I liked it, so I went ahead and picked it up. So again, this is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon presented at 46.85% ABV or at 93.7 proof, because bourbon goes by proof here in the States. Again, this is 1792 small batch, and just kind of going off the label, named in the honor of the year Kentucky joined the United States. 1792 small batch bourbon is made from a marriage of a few select barrels carefully chosen by our master distiller. This refined bourbon elevates Kentucky distilling to an exceptional new heights. Celebrated by whiskey connoisseurs worldwide, the subtleties of 1792 make it incomparably brash and bold, yet smooth and balanced. Cesar, you excited about this one?
Yeehaw.
Good pop, that's for sure. Now, again, this is brand new to us. This is something that we haven't really experienced. This is literally the first time we are pouring this, so we're going to kind of get our thoughts together. What you got to say, Cedar?
And I'm actually very excited for this because I am starting to really enjoy bourbon. I love sweet notes in alcohol because I never thought it was possible, but now that I could actually taste it, it's wow. It's Disneyland in your mouth, I think.
Disneyland in your mouth, okay. Before people start busting me up too bad, when they see me rub my hands after I do a pour, or when Cesar does a pour eventually, you get a little bit of that drippage from the bottle when you pour. And experts say that if you actually rub it into your skin, the alcohol actually evaporates and you can get that true nose flavor. I know at least two people out there watching this video that are probably laughing till they're blue in the face at me right now. We'll get into that at a future date, is why that story's funny. Shout out to Eric and Jesse, you know who you are. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk a little about the nose. What are you getting off this one, Cesar?
Let's see.
Ooh, man, right off the bat, the vanillas come straight forward.
Vanilla comes through.
A little bit of caramel.
I don't know why, for some reason, smelling that smell, just in my head, I picture a railroad with a train. Hey, not to mention with a dram tram. Hey, but I do picture like a nighttime railroad with a train.
I tell you, the alcohol, it's not 46.85? It's not hot in terms of the percentage, but it smells a little hot.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the alcohol. It'd be interesting once it gets on the palate. I don't know if it's the alcohol or if it's like a spicy note, like once I actually get sampling it.
What I think I actually smell with it, which I actually noticed a trend of as I've been drinking whiskey, is that fresh neck pour. You know, that fresh bottle, like when it's still full and it hasn't been aerated too much. That smell, it hits clean. Like a new car smells, a good way to explain it. You get into a new car and you're like, it smells like, new fresh leather that hasn't been sat on yet. This has a good bourbon, good sweet smell, but behind that you could smell that new car, so to say. You could smell that new bottle. Oh, it's fresh. That I think that's where I get that open railway picturing in my imagination. Is because it's brand new, and for some reason it smells like a new car smell for a bottle.
You say leather. That's really interesting. Like I've said before, I'm a sherry head. I love my sherried whiskeys. And this, I don't think this is sherried. I don't know the maturation or anything like that. And even if I did, I couldn't really speak to it because, hey, I'm kind of an idiot.
Wow.
But this is really good. It's
Folks, for this being 46%, all right, let's just start with the average bottle is about 40% alcohol. Jack Daniels, Old No. 7, Jameson, 40% alcohol. That's a regular base. 46 is higher than the normal alcoholics like Jameson, Jack Daniels. However, for it being 46, higher than those, it is super smooth. Super smooth. Like if you were to taste comparison this with, let's just say, a Jack Daniels would taste like it actually has more alcohol in it. But this does have more alcohol in it than that, and it tastes way better. That smoothness, I think, is where we get that small batch distillery from. But yeah, it's amazing, folks. Amazing.
Yeah, it's really smooth, even though it's 46%. It's not super aggressive. It's got a good flavor, good mouthfeel. Even getting a little bit of cinnamon now, kind of on the sides of my tongue. But the most predominant flavor here, for me anyway, is the vanilla, which is pretty typical in bourbons, I think. I haven't had an excessive amount of bourbons, and this one is actually pretty good. Price point on this guy, I usually regularly see it on the shelves in our market for about $30. And I would say this is a pretty good price point for this. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of water. What are you getting on the palate?
I haven't added water yet. I'm gonna add that right now, but I love it without water so far, especially for the price point. Oh, it so far it's a home run. I could just imagine what the water would do.
Yeah, I mean, for $30, I would definitely keep this on my bar. Do I like it more than some other bourbons that we're gonna end up reviewing on this channel? I don't know. It's good, but is it the snake that bit me that makes me come back every time? I don't know if it's there yet. And again, you'll know what that snake is in a future video. Quick little shout out that I forgot to mention before we started pouring. The coin I'm using today is Bourbon Insane, coin number 94. If you don't know who Bourbon Insane is, check them out on YouTube. Really two cool dudes, really good reviews, really fun. Cesar actually picked up this coin for me, so thank you, Cesar. I really appreciate it. We're gonna get into what challenge coins are and things like that in a later video. Don't you worry. I know we've had a couple of questions out there on our Instagram, on Facebook shares, things like that. What these coins are and what they symbolize, what are they supposed to do, why do you put them on the glass? Don't worry, we're gonna get into all of that. There's a gentleman out there who could put into words far better than we ever could, and has already put those words to paper, or words to blog rather, in Aquavitae. And so we're going to go ahead and share some thoughts on that eventually, but as of right now, we're just going to keep you guys in a little bit of a cloud of mystery. So what are you getting on the palate with the water, or have you added water yet?
Yes, I have added water. And might I say, folks, it's still nice, rich, and smooth. However, I get actually that tobacco note. I get a tobacco note now with water. The sweetness is definitely still there, but I feel like a little bit of like high quality tobacco stretched out. I'm not talking about that Newport. I'm not talking about that Marlboro Red. I'm talking about that American Spirit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but literally high quality fresh tobacco though. Not even American Spirit. I'm talking about fresh tobacco leaves.
Kind of like you'd roll like your own cigar or something like that, or your own cigarettes even.
Exactly. Roll my own cigar.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I can get behind your tobacco note a little bit. I think what I'm getting more than tobacco, because I've tasted tobacco and whiskeys before, right? You and I have sampled the Grangestone together. Video on that one coming soon. To me, with the water, it really just pushes forward that cinnamon note, which is pretty common in bourbons, again, from what I've tasted. It's almost like the cinnamon becomes the predominant flavor, for me at least. And again, the vanilla's still there, the sweet is still there. The mouth flavor got a little bit more aggressive with the water, for me anyway. But hey, that's the nice thing about whiskey. No two people's experience is going to be the same. My experience is going to be very different from Cesar's. Cesar's experience is going to be very different from y'all's experience. So in terms of a rating on this one, how would you score this?
In terms of a bourbon rating, for that price point, I think it definitely deserves a good 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'd say this is a solid 3. I was kind of borderline between a 2 and a 3. This isn't, and maybe again, like you spoke to the neck pour, right? This is something that literally you saw us pop the cork, ladies and gentlemen. And it's good, and I'm anxious to see what happens. You know, there was another bourbon that I tried, and when I first cracked the cork, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. I was just kind of like, man, this thing's aggressive. It's like, it's all up on me, and I don't know what to do with it. It's like a date gone horribly wrong. But I tell you, after a little bit of air hit it, after it calmed down, I got to tell you, it's the snake that bit me. And again, we're going to talk about that bourbon eventually. But I'd have to agree with you. The 3 on this is solid. It's a solid middle-of-the-road bourbon. This may be something that we look back at later in a future video, and maybe it kind of tickles our fancy a little bit differently. But yeah, I think 3 cars on the tram on this one is a perfect score. Guys, remember, like, share, subscribe this video, or subscribe to our channel rather. Hit us up on Instagram at SoCal Dram Tram, and remember to share this video with your friends. Again, this doesn't happen without you guys, and we really appreciate you coming along with us on this journey. And Cesar, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, actually, I mean, if you like, subscribe, share, we definitely appreciate that. But more than that, I mean, even if it's just 5 of you out there watching this, laughing your butt off on your chair, enjoying it, hey, you 5 is what we do it for. Who cares about, if we get 1,000 dislikes? It doesn't matter. You 5 are the only reason that keeps us going. So thank you guys for those of you that do stick around and watch it.
This is really just for us. This is really for our experience, and anybody who wants to sit there and join with us, even if it's just Jesse, Eric, Nick, whoever the case may be out there. We do it for y'all. We do it for us. Anything else you want to add?
Hey, it's all fam here in the Dram Tram.
Absolutely. All aboard. Woo, woo. Catch you later.